I now take the privilege to introduce the Honorable Chief Guest, Shree Vikram S Kirloskar. Shree Vikram graduated in Mechanical Engineering from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, class of 1981, and is a fourth-generation member of the Kirloskar Group started in 1888. Shree Kirloskar is the Chairperson and Managing Director of Kirloskar Systems Limited and Vice Chairperson of Toyota Kirloskar Motors. Sir lives in Bangalore, Karnataka state, and is responsible for partnering the Toyota Group and starting a major automobile manufacturing industry in the state. For this contribution to the state, he has been recognized by the government and presented with the Suvarna Karnataka Award. Shree Kirloskar has started working in the family business after college, initially in production engineering. Sir has designed and developed many processes and machine tools early in his career, and was involved in opening the import licensing for capital equipment while serving on the government's Development Council for Machine Tools in the late 1980s. Shree Kirloskar has also served as the President of the Central Manufacturing Institute in Bangalore. Sir was also elected as President of the Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers during 2013 to 2015. Sir also serves on the Government of India Development Council for Automobiles and the National Council of Electric Mobility. Shree Kirloskar was the President of Confederation of Indian Industry CII during 2019 to 2020 and currently the Chairman of CII Manufacturing Council, CII Trade Fairs Council and Chairman Hydrogen Task Force. Sir is involved in many activities at Massachusetts Institute of Technology and serves on the Educational Council and serves on the Board of Trustees of the Rhode Island School of Design. Shree Kirloskar is conferred with Indian Institute of Metals JRD Tata Award 2020 for his excellence in corporate leadership and metallurgical industries. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm round of applause as a pleasure in inviting our Honorable Chief Guest, Shree Vikram S Kirloskar, to kindly deliver the Convocation Address.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Ms. Shamla Gopinath, Chairperson, Board of Governors, IIM Raipur. Mr. Ashish Chavan, President of this function today. Esteemed members of the Board of Governors of IIM, Professor Ramkumar Kakani, Director, IIM Raipur, distinguished guests, parents, family members of students, faculty, staff, members of the media fraternity, and my dear graduating students. At the outset, let me extend my heartiest congratulations to the graduating students who are amongst our best and brightest. I also congratulate your parents and family members who supported you in achieving this academic distinction. It's a delight and honor for me to speak at today's convocation. Because, well, let me do the easier one first. I've forgotten the days since I left college and today. And I feel like, I'm so happy to see students and I feel like one of you. I don't think I have aged at all. So it's very nice to be here, primarily for that. And it's always enriching to talk with and interact with young students like yourself who will play a very key role in shaping the future, not only of our country, but also of the world. You, my dear friends, are the leaders, thinkers, and planners of the future, and hence carry the weight of immense expectations of your families, this excellent institution, the society, and the nation to go further beyond, contribute to resolving the huge challenges that we face today and achieve success in your respective chosen spheres. Moving ahead, as you take the next steps, you will embark on an exciting journey, a journey of immense possibilities limited only by the boundaries that you choose to set for yourself, a journey whose path you can decide if you so wish, as today, and have the benefit of leveraging from the success and global recognition already achieved by your predecessors, our nation, and the rapid technological developments that have removed many entry barriers and thus allow you to grasp the full potential of your abilities, talents, and your hard work. Most of you have already secured positions with organizations of planning on pursuing endeavors of your choice. However, as you enter into the next phase, the most important fact to keep in mind is that the world as we know it today is changing. And the transition is getting faster and bigger in scope with the expansion of digitization, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, advanced robotics, automation, decarbonization, renewable energy, and many, many more changes coming about. With these rapid and tectonic shifts in technological, sociological, and geopolitical domains, and in the last few months there have been quite a few, the future you will encounter will be far more volatile, uncertain, and complex. This will have immense impact on all of us individually, our society, as well as our existing businesses. Hence, I'd like to spend some time and share my thoughts in two broad areas. The key challenges that lie ahead, not only for you, but also for our society, nation, and humanity, which you'll have to work to overcome. And some learnings from my journey so far as an individual, an entrepreneur, and my long association with the Toyota Group that I feel will continue to remain valuable. When it comes to the challenges facing humanity and society, I will rate environment degradation along with climate change and its adverse impact on our planet as one of the most severe and urgent issues that we have to overcome. I believe climate change has already gravely disturbed the fine balance of nature, as we can see in the increasing frequency of incidences of extreme weather events such as floods, droughts, storms, heat waves, sea level rise, and the altered crop growth that we hear about, shortage of water, and many more. If we do not address these issues right away, very damaging and irrevocable alterations can bring in existential inexistence and for humanity, and a lot of crisis for all of us. Respect for the planet, plants, animals is deeply rooted in our traditional culture and values, along with environmentally friendly practices such as reuse, reduce, recycle. Sadly, these have got diluted in the recent past, largely due to external influences. Now is the time to rediscover and re-adopt our core values and bring in behavioral change. Believe me, behavioral change is as important and perhaps even more impactful than all other interventions. For this, we have to be the change agents and champions for sustainable development. And as leaders, we have to create many more champions in our society. Just as an example, our company, our car manufacturing company and our subsidiaries of the car manufacturing will be probably net carbon zero by this year as a manufacturing plant. And we started this activity 10 years ago. It was not all about major investment and technology and things. A lot of it was about behavior change. And we learned the behavior change when the whole focus came on adding toilets around the world, around the country. We took up all the toilet work in our district and in our areas, and our objective was outdoor defecation-free district, or at least 5-10 kilometers around the factory was my first goal. And this we could achieve not by building toilets, but actually, or not by even paying for the toilets, because finally the villages themselves paid for it, but by behavior change in children. And we had a strike in one of the villages started by a young girl called Diksha, saying that unless you build a toilet at home, we are not going to eat. And it started off like that. And we've got into an outdoor defecation-free situation, all from behavior change. Same thing on carbon, zero carbon. we started teaching all our team members what is the meaning of zero carbon, what is the effect of carbon on your future, on your children, on your health. And ideas started coming in on how, from each and every one, how do we reduce our water consumption? How do we reduce our electricity consumption? How do we go all solar? And that's, investment was one thing, but the behavior change in the approach to carbon made the whole difference in trying to reach zero carbon. I'm always very passionate when it comes to speaking about our country's future and what we can do as citizens. To my mind, one concept that encapsulates most of what we need to do is the vision Mr. Modi has been talking about, Atmanirbhar Bharat, or self-reliance. Many people think it means import restrictions and protection. To me, Atmanirbhar means building up self-confidence. And that is what all of you have done in the last 2 years, is build your own self-confidence on how you can do better. If you really think about it, it's a very deep concept. It is not merely about making all that you need, but its essence is wide encompassing. That includes becoming energy independent, which we can do only through renewable energy generation, achieve Make in India, which we can attain only by investing in advanced technologies, making local industries and services globally competitive in terms of cost and quality, which in turn requires ability to make available world-class education, skilling, global quality infrastructure, logistics and finance that can accord our businesses low transaction costs. I'm sure you've learned on transaction costs in your last 2 years here. So self-reliance encapsulates all that we must achieve for realizing rapid economic growth, the benefits of which can then percolate to the last man, thus helping to remove poverty and enhancing the quality of life for all Indians. Dear friends, we must not only contribute to this national mission, but also imbibe its essence in our professional and personal life. No convocation speech is complete without Gyan. And I'll try to talk a little bit about my past experiences. And now let me shower with you with what I think are going to be important in your life. You know, when I came back from college in 1981, I had worked in all kinds of jobs in America, right from serving food in cleaning beds, and I mean, I had done all kinds of things. Later on in college, I worked in factories, in melting and foundries. So I was lucky that way, that I had experience to do things with my own hands. When I came back, I started working in our engine factory, and we used to, Kirloskars from 40s, 50s onwards, used to be very big in agricultural business, especially agricultural pump sets all over the country. And these were largely powered by very heavy diesel engines, small ones, but very heavy engines. And at some point, someone had done a lot of work on engineering and came up with new engines which were very light, easy to manufacture, but essentially very light, and they cost less. And it wasn't successful at all, because no one had really understood why the farmer wanted a heavy engine, because it could not be stolen. And the light engines were just getting stolen everywhere. Very essential as you start working. You have to go to the place of work. You have to see with your own eyes and experience what is happening at the place of work, what your customers want, what they do. But this was very funny, because the poor engineers who really worked hard, and they did a phenomenal job of coming with this development. This was in the 70s, I think, late 70s, early 80s. In the future, frequent job changes will be a thing of the past, and you may instead need to change your career path multiple times within your own organization to continuously learn and reskill yourself. 20 years ago, when we started doing this rotation, And now in our company, we rotate people 3-4 years. Very rarely anyone is in the same job for more than 3-4 years. They go right from production to sales. This afternoon, I met a guy who had come from our Calcutta office. I was meeting dealers. He worked in, I think, product planning. Now he's in Eastern region in Calcutta, but he had gone through many such jobs. And I had a very tough time persuading people, it's okay, you're going from job A to job B. It doesn't mean you're getting demoted. One of the problems we always faced in India, earlier on, now it's changing. Anytime you were asked to make a change, people thought I had done something wrong. It's not that. It is you're learning something new, and you can do better. So you're going to encounter that as you go along, and take the opportunity to change jobs even within your own company. Learn to do all kinds of things. That's how you'll go up the ladder. Be fearless. Imbibe the teaching from the Bhagavad Gita. You have come empty-handed and will go so. What is yours today belonged to someone else yesterday and will belong to someone else tomorrow. Hence, as you really have nothing to lose, so overcome fear and pursue your dreams. The first 20 years of my career, I did all kinds of things. And that time, none of you were aware, we had a lot of import restrictions. There was a shortage of foreign exchange. You couldn't import anything. So one of my jobs was, if I can't get something, design it, make it, build it. And I became an expert at that. I designed I think I've built about 25 factories in my last 40 years career. Developed so many processes and machine tools. When we built the first Qualis, most of the parts we manufactured in Bangalore, the axles and everything else. And I think half the machines were designed by me. That was kind of fun. But it's something you learn from making mistakes. Even design, you have to learn from your mistakes. And you're going to all encounter many mistakes as you go ahead. As you work, you'll find many mistakes. It's best to tell bad news first. This is a trait, again, in India, you don't find, telling bad news first. In our meetings, when we started this, again, 20 years ago, tell bad news first. And no one wanted to tell bad news because they thought, it means I'm dumb, I'm really terrible. It's taken about 15, 20 years to get people in our organization to tell bad news first. But that at least stops the problem right in the beginning. And I think this is something you're going to also encounter as you start working. Bad news first is becoming more and more common across the world. The good news is always there. No one wants to talk about it. Bad news first. Let's fix the problem. That kind of attitude. And mentally, we should be prepared for it when you go back to work. Last thing I want to tell you is we are lucky people. We've come from families who have looked after us. We've gone to schools, good schools. We've had a fantastic education here. But not many people in India have that luck. And that doesn't mean that they're not capable or they're not able to work as well as they can as us. I think it's important that we also at least teach one other person what we know. Someone who is unskilled and someone who is not educated. Educate someone, skill up someone, and help them do better. That's the only way this country will grow. We have many, many people, and the more we can skill and educate all the people, that's the only way the country can grow, and all of us will grow. Thank you again very much for inviting me here. All the best to you, and a very successful career ahead.